So, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Ibby Cybersecurity Mentorship Program. And this is the foundation course for Ibby Mentorship. Here we are going to talk about the networking. What is cybersecurity? What is networking? What is Windows system, the fundamental, Linux system fundamental, and what is web security? So this is something which is required before you get into any advanced course, even any basic course. You need to have a strong foundation. I know that today many of you go and join cybersecurity courses, networking courses. But at the end of the day, what is the challenge? Can anyone tell? You do not know the foundation. So when they teach you, it goes above your head. They will talk about TCP. You will be confused. And also they will talk about all of a sudden Linux commands, how to create a file, how to change. They will talk about Windows registry key, how to create a user, how to remove that, how to enable firewall in Windows. So they will be talking something in a course like Cisco or Palo Alto or Fortinet or any other course for that matter, information security, cyber security. But for all those courses, you need a strong foundation. So this 3 weeks program is going to focus to build your foundation strong. So our objective is what? Is to build your foundation very strong. And if you come to this session with that intention, that to create a strong foundation in cybersecurity, then yes, please stay tuned and continue my session. But if you have some other objective, already what is cybersecurity, about networking, then it may not be that much useful for you. Maybe you can watch recording, maybe you can join the next course, which is the intermediate and advanced courses you can join. So let me ask you now, are you now interested to attend this live session, which will be only talking about the foundation of all these concepts, cybersecurity, network, web, Windows, Linux? Are you ready to learn? Yes, no, you can type. I want to see. Yeah? Yes, no, you can go out and type in the chat box before we begin. Yeah? That is the expectation you have all joined, right? Let it be very interactive. I want you to interact with me so that we can learn a lot, right? This is not a course where you switch on and go and sleep, or you see that somebody is talking. Okay, let me just take a back seat and observe what he's doing. Okay? So I want you to get benefited from this 3 weeks, very, very important course. And at the end of the course, I promise you, at least you can go and take up some basic certification. I can help you with something in TryHackMe. I'm not sure about NSE 1, maybe something in Fortinet, something in Palo Alto. Some of the foundation, if you are interested, you can go and take that exam with a little bit of extra effort. So not only you are going to create a foundation, also if you wish to have some kind of certification, you can also do that. And from our side, IT experts training along with Ibby mentorship, cybersecurity mentorship, is going to give you a participation certificate. That's why it's very important. All of you register when you are attending the session. Register the Zoom session, because that is what it will count. If you are attending all the 3 sessions, even minimum 1 hour, it's a 3 hour, even if you are attending for 1 hour, we'll give you a certificate. Fine? Is that clear? Are we all on the same page? Great. The second point, who you are getting coached, or who is the one who is taking the class. So you should know about me. Maybe many of you know from my previous webinars and classes. Just to tell you, I'll give a brief introduction about myself. I'm Dr. Muhammad Ibrahim, Senior Cybersecurity Consultant. I'm a mentor in ibbycybersecurity.com. I'm also CEO of Cyber Heals, a company which provides cybersecurity solution based out of UK. We have created a lot of opportunity for the student, especially I've trained thousands of students across the globe. And as we speak, in Ibby mentorship, there are more than 5,000 students. In the last 3 months, they have learned from 40 different countries. Okay, they've learned cyber security, network security, they've learned about ethical hacking. 5,000 plus students, art students from 40 different countries. That is a huge reach, especially when you have requirement for a lot of job opportunities. So what I'm trying to convey here is this course is not only for knowledge. If you want to develop further, this will definitely help you. That is what my profession is, to mentor you, to guide you, to get you into something where you want to reach. Okay. So this is a foundation course, but after this course, our team, if you're interested for further course, you can approach our team. They will help you how to register and enroll. Fine. That is the first thing. So I have some of the leading industry certification from Cisco, which is a CCIE, Cisco Certified Internet Network Expert. It is called a doctorate of networking. And I have done almost 15 years back. Almost not 15 years, now it's almost 20 years, 2023. I was doing in 2003. So 20 years back, I did my CCIE. You know, those days, how difficult these exams were. It is an 8 hours lab. You have to go and sit in the lab and then troubleshoot, configure, and make sure that physical troubleshooting, everything. You need to be physically there in the exam center. 8 hours. And the passing mark is 80%. Okay, that's tough. It used to be those days. So I'm very happy to say that I am a CCIE, and also I am the VMware certified expert. VMware is ruling everywhere, virtualization. And that NXS, network virtualization expert. I'm also CSIM, so CIS, Certified Information Security Manager, which talks about security policies, how you can advise companies to create a security posture. You know, all these things covered in CIS. I'm also Certified Information Security Manager. I also have highest certification from almost second to highest from Fortinet, which is NSE 7. You know, Fortinet is considered one of the leaders in cybersecurity. I've also trained in Palo Alto, Cisco, and other cloud platform, whatever, it's available. I've done many certifications. And I also have a lot of students. I've traveled across the globe. I've implemented projects in ISPs, in the oil sector, government, telco, and retail. So I'm coming with something, a practical exposure from different industry. And now I have left my job, all the high-paid job, and I am, for the last 1 year, my mission is to create 1 million cybersecurity professionals across the globe. So that is my objective. So this course I'm launching, part of my mission. I hope you all join that mission. I hope and sincerely believe that it will help you to become cybersecurity professional. So with that mission, we are starting this course and hope you are going to benefit. Please make sure you share this YouTube link after that to your friends. Also ask your friends to join this course. That is very important. They will definitely get a lot of exposure. They will definitely set a strong foundation. All these 3-week course is absolutely free. There is no hidden agenda. Okay? But if you want to go to the next level, we have a mentorship program which our team can tell, towards the end of the fine. Are we aligned with our objectives? All of you, yes, no? Are you happy to start this session? Learn this course? Do you commit that you will attend all so that you will gain knowledge and also you'll be able to get into cybersecurity? Fine. I'm very happy to see many people are saying yes. Very positive comments. That's the spirit. I want to keep it, and definitely will be able to do, and you will be having a different person at the end of the 3rd week. Okay. So with that, let me start the session. Thank you very much. Once again, I thank all of you for joining, and also I congratulate all of you for choosing this foundation course. Please, once again, request, it is not too late. We have 2.5 hours. Please share this link and Zoom link to your friends. He could be someone who is studying in a school in the 10th, 12th grade. Maybe he's studying in a college, or he is a working professional in mechanical, civil, or any other profession, but he want to change is field to IT and cybersecurity. So you are going to also help someone. So please share it so that it will benefit. Okay. So let us start the session. Can you see the screen? Yeah, great. So what I'm trying to do here is I have 3 type of vendors whom I am going to give this free course for you. The first one is from Palo Alto, one of the leading cybersecurity vendor. Second one is Fortinet. They're also leading cybersecurity vendor in the world. And third one is a hacking site. I want also to expose you into what is hacking. And they're also going to tell you that you can log in, practice, run virtual machines. For example, you don't have a Linux, don't worry. You will be doing lab with me. I'll give you an opportunity where you can run a Linux machine in the cloud, free of cost. Does it make interesting? Does it seem that something new? You can run Linux machine, Windows machine in the cloud and practice those commands free of cost. Okay, that's what you're going to get. So I'm going to use 3 things. One is Palo Alto, Fortinet, and another hacking site, which is the trading hacking site, which will help you to build your strong foundation and practice in certain labs. Is it clear? So my approach is not going through PPTs and boring with you, talking a lot of theories. Let us get into some interactive learning. So the first one is about, we call it as Beacon. That's what today I'm going to use it. I'll also talk about the other side, which is called Try Hack Me. Okay, that side also has a lot of information about what you learn, how you can learn. Okay, so in Palo Alto, we have something called Introduction to Cybersecurity. This is what I'm going to teach. So all of you can also register your username, password in the site, and you can also go through and complete all the quiz modules. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to guide you as a coach, not to go and repeat the same thing. I'm trying to explain the concept. So all these materials are available free for you. Don't worry about that. It's free for you. You can go and register your username, create an email ID, register there. It is called Beacon. Same way in Fortinet, it's called Fortinet Academy. Okay. So these are the things which will help. Also, Try Hack Me. You have something like beginner level, which will tell you how to register. Okay. Yes, we will be. You will be getting the recording of all the videos. Also, the YouTube link for the first session only. The second, third session will not share the YouTube. So first session will give you the YouTube. Second, third, the recording will be there in our website. You can come and learn. It will be free. Okay. So you can register with the mobile app, download the mobile app, and watch that. Fine. So what this course today we are going to talk. We are talking about 2 topics today: cybersecurity, introduction to cybersecurity. Other one is network security, introduction to network security. 2 topics, very, very important topic. Okay. So what are you going to get? What is the learning outcome at the end of this session? So, sir, it's fine. At the end of the day, what I'm going to learn? This is what I'm sure all of you are looking at. All right. So what is the learning? So you will be able to understand the cybersecurity landscape, what is happening today all over the world in the internet. What do they mean by cybersecurity? What are the different terms? And you will also be able to identify the threats in cybersecurity. Right? That is another very, very important topic. Threats in cybersecurity. Third one, we are also going to tell you about malware, because we keep hearing a lot of news. This guy has been attacked, infected with malware, and they are using these techniques. So let us understand what this malware is all about. Right? And also, we'll talk about vulnerabilities. They said that recently, the Indian government, in the newspaper you would have seen, Air India was attacked. They used some vulnerability. Recently, there was an attack called Log4j. How many of you know what is Log4j? Can you raise? Yes, no? How many of you in this know what is Log4j attack? Have you heard about that? They said the internet is on fire. Log4j attack. Say yes, no? Log4j, right? No. No. I want to see at least one person saying yes. Till then, I will wait. Log4j attack. It was attacking. The internet was down. Many services are having problem. Okay. So I think you're not understanding. Okay. Many of you do not know. It's so sad. Okay. Yeah, I can say that hacker. What is your name? Grey hack. You can type to me. What is your name? Hacker. So you know that, right? That's very good. Yeah. Yeah, Mateen knows. Very good. So log4j is a vulnerability which put the entire internet on fire. Go and search log4j. Yeah. So this is called log4j attack. This has happened in the internet. You know, it has brought down the entire internet down. Say impact. So potential impact, they are saying that how much it has impacted. So go and check that. It is called Apache security vulnerability. Okay. So it's talking about something called vulnerability. So do you want to know what is vulnerability? Imagine the entire internet is down, or they are saying the internet is on fire. Okay. So let us say what is that. So he's saying log for malicious attackers execute code remotely on any target computer. So he's saying that the open source software, it's a library for Java. Can you tell that who is in the entire world is not using Java? Everybody is using Java. Everybody is using, Apache web server, right? So it has attacked, and it is called remote code execution, RCE, and this uses some kind of a vulnerability. So large attacks surface are particularly due to the ubiquitous use of log4j library in Java software. So since Java is everywhere used, all those who are using Java has been impacted with this vulnerability. Okay. So he's saying what is affected, what are the companies impacted. So it gives you more detail about that. Okay. So the impact also huge. They said the entire internet is on fire. Fine. So now you know what is log4j. All of you wipe out. Exactly. Yeah, logging utility. Exactly. Java-based logging utility. So now we said there is a vulnerability in Java. Vulnerability it has used. So you need to know what is vulnerability and what is exploits. Is it not? Then only you can correlate. If you don't know what is vulnerability and what is exploit, the relation between them. So you just read the news, okay, there is something happening. But if you know what is vulnerability, if you know what is exploit, how to exploit, that means you are someone who is very close, and able to follow the security news very closely. Another example I will tell you. What has happened recently in Ukraine? Have you read the newspaper? Ukraine cybersecurity attack. Have you seen that? Yeah? You've seen that? Russia ongoing cyber in Ukraine, right? Viper discovered latest cyber attacks. You saw that? Yeah? Have you heard this news or not? Everybody who's watching the Russian-Ukraine war very closely. Did you watch this news? So you can see that BBC is saying that it's creating a lot of problem. The real threats, the threat is real. The deputy AG wants Russian cyber attack on Ukraine. So something, let us see this news, what is trying to explain.
We also have our eyes tuned. Eamon Javers got that for us. Eamon?
Carl, that's right. Lisa Monaco speaking at the Munich Security Conference within an hour, and she issued a warning reiterating what the U.S. government has been saying to American companies for a while now, which is that any Russian incursion into Ukraine could also be accompanied by a cyber war that could have significant blowback for American companies. Here's what she said.
Given the very high tensions that we are experiencing, companies of any size and of all sizes would be foolish not to be preparing right now as we speak to increase their defenses, to do things like patching, to heighten their alert, to be monitoring in real time their cybersecurity. They need to be, as we say, shields up.
So Lisa Monaco there saying American companies need to be shields up in preparation for anything that could happen. Carl and John, she also announced a new effort by the Department of Justice, a national cryptocurrency enforcement team, appointing a new director for that new unit, suggesting that they're going to go after all sorts of cryptocurrency frauds, tumblers.
So you got the point, right? What is the impact? You're able to see what is going to happen now in the cybersecurity world. Does it make sense why you need to know what is cybersecurity? Why do you need to have a strong foundation? Okay. So these are the attacks which is happening. So you need to connect to the latest news. So cybersecurity is no more somebody else's job. It has become our job. And each and every individual who's connected to the internet need to know what is cybersecurity. What is malware? What is vulnerability? How somebody can attack? How I can protect? So all of them are important. What is antivirus, anti-malware? What is firewall? Do you agree that right now with what's happening around the globe, they're not talking at a conventional war, they're talking about cyber warfare. Is it not? Cyber warfare. So each and every country is calling for volunteers to support and defend the countries like they call for the military personnel. So learning cybersecurity is going to become obligation. It's going to become a basic necessity for each and every individual, because he has to protect his nation, his state, his city, his house, and his family, and his own self. With that perspective, let us learn today's session. Are you able to connect the dots? Why we are here? Does it make sense? As I told you, I want you to be interactive. Type in YouTube, in Facebook, wherever you are watching, interact with me, share your feedback. At today's context, do you feel that importance of learning this? Right? Yeah? Okay, that's good. So we will be talking about the vulnerabilities. What is spam, phishing attack, and what are the vulnerabilities related to what is Wi-Fi, right? What is APT, Advanced Persistent Threat, we call it. So we'll also talk about like zero trust security models. What is zero security? And then some of the capability of Palo Alto, but we are not going to focus vendors. We are more focused on the concept. Palo Alto does, Fortinet does, Cisco does, any other vendor, they do the same thing. Each one has got a different architecture, just to understand. Okay. 70 Ukrainian government website. That's great. That's something which I want you to share. Okay, that's good. So can we now move on to the topic? Is your expectation set right? Is something making you very curious to know what is all this concept is all about? And I'm sure today's at the end of the session, you will know all the concept. Okay. So let me go into that. Share. Yeah. So introduction to cybersecurity. Review. So introduction to cybersecurity. Very nice. This is what we are all looking for, the concept to understand. So this course is mainly to introduce the fundamental, also the concept that is required to recognize and potentially mitigate attacks if somebody is attacking against home networks or mission critical infrastructure. So the training objective, we already saw that: landscape, threat landscape, vulnerability, Wi-Fi, and zero trust security. We will talk about that. So in this lesson, we will talk about first what is cybersecurity landscape is all about. The first one, lesson 1. We have 5 lessons. Second one is the attack type. And third one is techniques they are going to use. The fourth one is advanced persistent threat and Wi-Fi vulnerability. Everybody is using Wi-Fi. They are connecting to the home, hotel, in travel, in airport, in restaurant, right? Wi-Fi is commonly used by all of us. And then what are the different security models available in that? So this is what we are going to learn. So let us start with the introduction. Okay. Cybersecurity landscape. What is that? So what is landscape? It's something which gives a bigger picture to us. What is covered, how it is working, all of them it's giving that. Okay. So the modern cybersecurity landscape is something a rapidly evolving hostile environment, because you are seeing advanced threats from many sides. Now, right now they are using botnet. They don't use humans. They install bots across the entire web. So at the same time, you get a DDoS attack, distributed denial of service attack. We'll talk about that in a while. So advanced threat. They are using artificial intelligence. Not human anymore. They're using artificial intelligence to create malware and to launch an attack. So it has become very sophisticated, and these are all called threat actors. Okay. So let us understand what is the modern computing is all about. When we talk about computing, what we are now talking about. So we are right now in something called Web 2. How many of you know what is Web 2? Can you type? Define what is Web 2? Yeah. They're also coming with Web 3. Right? Each one is changing. Metaverse, all of them are coming very soon, are already launched, and we will be slowly transferring or transforming into that. So Web 2 is it's a core business application. All of them are mainly commonly installed with Web 2 apps on variety of endpoints. It could be your mobile, your laptop, it could be your PC. Okay, networks that are originally designed to share files and printers are now used to connect massive volumes of data. When you download or exchange, it's a massive volume. And also the real-time information. You go to stock market, you go to Amazon, you go to Google Cloud, you are watching real-time information. You go to any newspaper now, you are seeing that what is the election result. You are now getting updated every minute, every second, you get the real-time information. And also it's all online business, e-commerce. After COVID-19, we are all very much inclined towards digital e-commerce business. Everything is getting into e-commerce. Uber, Zomato, ordering food, booking tickets, everything is becoming online. And also it's making a global collaboration. So what is helping? Who is helping? Which technologies underlying, helping to have all this transformation, this entire digital transformation? It is called Web 2.0 apps, okay, application. It could be web apps. It is an app available on SaaS model. So right now we are using Zoom. Zoom is based on SaaS model, software as a service, right? Or it could be a mobile app. You are downloaded. Maybe you are watching the mobile, right? It's a mobile app, so that can be easily installed and can run without installing any local program. I don't have to install any other program. Rather, it's going to be from the cloud. All right. So this is called Web 2 technologies. Like you can talk about many technologies. You can launch the sessions using web-based video conferencing system. I've installed Zoom on a local, it's downloaded, but you can also have based on you're running, for example, GoToMeetings, Cisco WebEx. So all of them have like client-based or also web-based. Google Meet. So you can just use the Chrome and set up the entire conference. Is it not? So Web 2 is something is available as a software as a service model. This is possible because we are working in a cloud world. We are all connected to the cloud. Okay. What is the benefit? The benefit of Web 2 is what? Enterprise, or sometimes called an Enterprise 2.0, or all the organizations, companies, SMBs, they started using this application and technologies. So including to collaborate, like now everywhere there's something called virtual meeting. There is no physical meeting. They now work from home. Nobody's coming to office. And also they are sharing knowledge and reducing the travel time and expenses. Even they are saving the company office space. Is it not? So this is possible with Web 2. So why we are touching upon Web 2? Because you understand this Web 2, how important and how it's drastically changing our lifestyle, then you will also be able to understand how important to have security in place. Because if it is fall into the hackers, if these technologies, if these are misused and exploited by cyber criminals, that means now you are the loser. The companies will lose its business, it will lose its brand, it will lose its customers. Do you agree with me? So if you understand the business, how important is Web 2 application, then you will also realize how important to have a cyber security protection for all these applications. Okay, that's why we are learning what this. So we are doing many of which are also SaaS app, file sync. You can file sync app. Can you give any example for file sync? You are downloading a file, uploading a file. Can you type? Please let us make it very interactive. Not one way, I told you. Let me see who's going to write. File sync and sharing services. Anyone? Can you tell? Let me give an example like Dropbox, Google Drive, exactly up to. What about others? Come. Go ahead, cloud quickly. What else? I want to see everyone to interact, not one person. What else you are using? G Drive, right? Google Drive, very good. What else? iCloud. Is it not? Yeah. We have 64 people, only 2 people are typing. That's not acceptable. If you are not using any online drive, you have one drive, exactly. So you're using something called Apple iCloud, Box, Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Spotify, and YouTube. All of them are file syncing services. Then what about instant messages? I think it's very easy. Now, quickly, instant message. You need to be in front of your keyboard. That is the objective of this class. You cannot sit idle and say, instant message, give an example. Facebook, okay, Twitter, very good. Yeah, Yahoo, yeah, as if WhatsApp, excellent. And now I can see many people are breaking. I have 65 people and only 10 people have typed. Discord, exactly, Sanju. So I am. Snapchat, WhatsApp, all of them. Then what is micro blocking? Can you give an example? Micro blocking sites. Telegram, yes, swipe, that's right. What is micro blocking? Micro blocking sites. Any example? Wikipedia, okay. One good example. What about others? Even your Twitter is a micro blogging, am I right? Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Pinterest, all of them are micro blogging, exactly. So I'm just trying to map, bring your attention. You may be using it every day, but I am telling what is the technical term of that particular product. Yeah. So please be interactive. So at the end of the session, you also gain good knowledge. So I told you, we'll talk about Web 3. We are coming up Web 3 very soon. I'm going to talk about that. So what is Office Productivity Suite? Can you give an example? Office Productivity Suite. Office. Microsoft 360. Yes, MS Office 365. What else you have? Yes, Google app, right? Google also has something similar to Microsoft Office 365. Yeah. Then what is remote access software? Remote access software. How do you access the system remotely? Which software do you use? TeamViewer, Teams, yeah, Microsoft Teams, TeamViewer. Okay. Then even you can use Zoom option to take remote control. Want to try Sanju? Sanju, can you take remote control of my PC now? I've given a yeah. Yeah. Sanju can control my screen. Can you draw something? Can you move this? So even it's available now. Yeah. Sanju is controlling my PC. Ah, he's writing now something. Great. Thank you, Sanju. Yeah. So even you can use simply a Zoom to have a remote access, remote control. You can log me when TeamViewer or that. Then remote team meeting software. You know, Zoom, Adobe, Microsoft. Social curation. What is social curation? You know that social network. What is social curation? Like Instagram, Pinterest, and Reddit. So it's only do on a particular topic. My Instagram is mainly for picture, sharing picture. Pinterest, same thing. So social site, but it is curated. That means only specific type of file can come. So what is social network sites? Can you give example? Social networking site. Obviously, you know, Instagram, Facebook, everything. And what about web-based emails? Yeah, web-based emails. Or Gmail, Outlook, everything. Wiki is, you know, social text, Wikipedia. So this is all based on Web 2.0 application. So can we get into Web 3.0? I told you the Web 3.0 is the vision of Web 3 is to return the power of internet to individual users. So Web 2, it was focusing who? Can you type? Web 2, it was focusing what? Individual users or which one? So Web 3 is bringing that ability to individual user. Web 2, it was focused on, come on, I just yeah. Web 2 is based on enterprise, am I right? So we said this is mainly used for file sharing for the mainly, you know, working along with the source base for users as well as the enterprise. Right? They were mainly focused on Web 2 is for enterprise dot 2. It's mainly used considered as a business related application, even though users use, but it's mainly for business. Okay? So application technology, including better collaboration. So many organizations, so they felt that change. But Web 3 is mainly you will be transferred, individual user will be transferred with Web.3. Is it clear between Web 2 and 3? But what is the main component in Web 3? It is going to be based on AI and machine learning, right? Blockchain, we are using it. Data mining, right? Mixed reality, we talk about AV and VR, mixed reality, natural language search. So it has also got Web 2. Okay, Web 2 has changed or developed over a period of time as Web 3. But it is controlled by government. And the content is made available to individuals. But here it is coming to individual and raising many concern about individual security, privacy, and liberty. So please take note of it. Web 2, it is more of organization. So I can install a firewall, I can protect. But when Web 3 technology has come, each and every individual is impacted. How? somebody can monitor what you're doing in your mobile. Somebody can take your personal data. Somebody can, spy on you. Somebody can know what preference you have when you go to eat in a restaurant. Somebody can decide what advertisement you should see when you visit a particular website. Does it happen to you? Does it happen or not? You go to Facebook, you see a lot of ads. So who is deciding that what advertisement you should see? Who is deciding? Somebody is sending you, they know that Ibrahim has come now, let's push this ad. Is something happening like that? Mateen, is something happening like that? Please reply. Who is sending me an ad? Somebody is sending it to me, no? Who is that guy? Who is that guy? Ibrahim has come, I'm pushing, who's that guy? There is nobody is doing that. It is done by artificial intelligence. It knows what are the things you visited. So I search similar ad and push it to you. AI and machine learning. Yeah. So targeted marketing, am I right? Tracking history through AI. Exactly. I think you are right. So now you understand Web3, is it just impacting the corporate or you and me? Tell me now. All of you, do you agree with me that Web3 is something impacting individual? Yes, no. Type. I want all of you in front of the computer or mobile, keep chatting. Yes, Deepak is saying yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. Abdullah Gori is saying that while I'm talking about chocolates, I got advertisement on my screen about it. Another case for mobile, exactly. You have Siri, am I right? In your iPhone, you tell Siri something, then it may bring Alexa. All of them does the same thing, right? Yeah, built in AI. Yeah. So it's a question mark. Your privacy, individual privacy, and your liberty, your freedom is now exposed. Somebody can control. Do you agree with me that somebody can remotely monitor and decide what you should eat? Who is that somebody? Is the AI algorithm. Jumail, you're right. So we are living in that world. Imagine if we don't know about cybersecurity, we don't know about the threat, how vulnerable we will be. We are using every day, ordering Zomato, Uber, Ola, booking online, e-commerce site, Amazon, but you don't know how they are tracking our data, how they are using our data to sell our information to make money. So what kind of concern I should have? How should I protect my privacy? If that's a question you have, then definitely this course is going to answer. Everybody is worried, am I right? Government is watching, companies are watching, marketing companies want to sell. The kids are bombarded with so much information. Children are affected with pornography and unethical information. Cyberbullying and cybercrime is increasing because we are exposed to Web.3. We are using the technology. Can I say that, no, I want to disconnect the internet, I will be isolated, no problem. Can you take a decision today? Shall we take it, Mateen? Deepak? Yeah? Can we take the decision? I don't want internet. It's okay. Why this headache? You can't take the decision. Rather, you should, make you knowledgeable. Rather, you should learn, educate yourself how to defend, how to protect, how to use this Web.3 technologies in a more safer, secure manner. For that, you need to understand what is cybersecurity. Fine? Does it make sense for all of you? Thank you. So, what is the new threats coming? I'm talking about new threats. I think I can go and talk about each and everything about that, but we don't have time. For example, AI, you click on that, it will tell what is AI and machine learning is all about. So it acquires and applies knowledge to find most optimal solution, decision, and of course action. Okay? This is machine learning is subset of AI. It applies algorithm to large data set to discover common patterns in the data that can be used to improve the performance of the system. So that is artificial intelligence. So AI is nothing but you are giving the machine, the brain, human brain. Normally, when you give the programming to the computer, what it does, you give the A and you have a formula and you say A equal to, it gives the output as B. This is what the program you have made. When you receive A, you do the formula and set it as a B. Input, output, and programming. Is it not? That is what is programming. That's what processor is going to do. But if you change a situation, do you think the program will react? Instead of A, you are giving B. What the program will do? What is going to give? Please answer quickly because we have less time. I want to cover a lot. If I am giving B instead of A, what the program will do? Will it process or give you error? It will give you error, exactly. But imagine if I have something like artificial intelligence, it can adapt, it can know why it changed from A to B. There is some reason. So let me understand what is B. So if B comes, what should I do? It automatically programs. It collects data. It sees mobile phones, iPhone, Android, sees so many phones and it collects. So tomorrow you go and show something which is latest release, which it has not seen before. It should say error. Am I right? There is a new mobile phone which doesn't look like all the patterns. So if you go to the mobile phone, it should say no, it's not a mobile phone because I have this shape is different. It is curved. The size is big. I don't know. But if it is AI, it will recognize the pattern. It will guess. Yeah, it could be a mobile phone because it has taken so much data. It is called machine learning. It runs an algorithm, larger data set. So you keep on feeding information. This is Samsung, this is iPhone, this is Oppo, this is Huawei. You give all the mobile phone models, so it knows, okay, mobile means it may have different standards and patterns. So tomorrow you introduce a new mobile, it will say it is a mobile. It's called, do you know what is the name? Pattern recognition. So that is called AI. Can anyone take a screenshot and share it in the group? Tahir, can you do that? Because it's very important. You are learning something about artificial intelligence, right? Send in the group. Keep the group open, Tahir. Yeah. Second one, blockchain. Previously, we used to use currencies, but now we are getting into cryptocurrencies, like bitcoins. Right? It's one example of blockchain application. So blockchain is again nothing but data structure. It will tell who has transferred from where. Imagine it's like you go to the bank or you log into our online bank and download a statement, your account statement. It says when you transfer, who debit, credit, what is the balance. It gives all the details, right? So it's a record. Same way, instead of keeping and maintaining in the bank, it is maintained across the globe in a different structures and blocks. And it is continuous. One time you change here, everywhere it is changed. Right? That's what it's called mining. Anything predictability they do. A lot of people, crazy people, we call it. They run a lot of computers in their home, try to mine bitcoins. Have you happened to see that people in your house? Some people putting a lot of racks on servers, fan running. They said I'm mining bitcoins. So something called blockchain and cryptocurrencies. Something changing. Data mining, right? You're talking about data analytics. Then we're talking about mixed reality, like virtual reality, augmented reality, extended reality. You're talking about, drones and robots, all right, coming up. And natural language search. It is an ability to understand human spoken language and the context. Okay, that's called natural language search. Do you know there is a latest robot in China, which is a humanoid robot, which can talk to you in your language? Have you seen that? You want me to show? Can you see this? can go naturally.
你吃过饭了吗？
您想吃什么就吃什么吧，对自己好点，影响别人不。
Anyway, so this is something which is happening with natural language search, right? They're able to talk, they are able to smile, they have to even facial expression. So which world we are living now? All of you. Can you type? I want all of you to type this word. Which world we are living? Web 2 or Web 3 now? Yeah? Monero on my computer, great. So which word? Type all of you. Web 2 or 3? I want to see all the 50 people typing. So you know what is the impact of Web 3? Right? How it's changing. We are talking about metaverse. Metaverse is mainly a virtual reality, am I right? Metaverse again based on Web 3. So you can buy real estate business virtually. Recently, there are couples who are marrying in metaverse. Facebook, they have changed their name to what? Meta, am I right? The company name is changed as Meta. So this all is called Web3 technologies. It's something very, very interesting to know. So that's great. Thank you. I'm very happy that you all understood about the concept. But my whole objective here is to tell you the impact. All right? What is the problem? What is the problem? Yeah, that's nice to hear about data mining, natural languages. Sir, it's excellent to hear. But what is the challenge of this? Have you any time wondered? What is the challenge? It is exposing, it's giving new applications, are having more threats. The threat vectors are increasing. Yes. Yeah. Threat vector is increasing. That means you are now exposed for a lot of cyber attack. Okay. So exploiting vulnerabilities in core business application, it is there for a long time. But right now, new threat actors are coming up. Like they are using different tactics, techniques, and procedures. We call it as TTP. Can you type all of you? Tactics, techniques, and procedure. This is a very, very important word in threat vectors. Type that, all of you, please. Yeah. Tactics, techniques, and procedure. So how you can protect if you are in a cloud environment? So you are connecting with your mobile, going to the ISP, then connecting to the cloud, right? Like your Office 365, Salesforce, all are consumed in the cloud. Nothing is stored. Is it not? So that means there is again, you have a problem with your cloud and application classifications. So it could be, traditionally we use the firewall, code-based firewall to stop. If Ibrahim coming, stop it. If Kumaresan is coming, allow it. That's what you tell the firewall. Right now, it's more than Ibrahim, right? Maybe Ibrahim coming with a mask. So how do you define? How do you find out? Right? So allowing and blocking application we were used to do, saying that it's a good guy and bad guy. Okay, this is what we were doing before. Like many organizations use social media like Facebook, right? They may use also Facebook may be used for chatting, also Facebook used for company advertisement. Do you use Facebook for company marketing, digital marketing? How many of you? You are using Facebook for your promotion. Have you done that? For your office, I'm not talking about personal use, for your office use. Okay. So what else are you using it? Facebook, I'm just asking all of you. Have you used Facebook, YouTube for your business? That means you need to say selectively what should be allowed. Maybe you can block the chart, maybe, but you need to send advertisement. Right? So, and also since you are exposing social media for business, you are also more exposed to attack. So let us understand what is TTP. Because port hopping. It allows adversaries to randomly change the ports and protocol during the session. So if you block port number 120, for example, this is what you are stopping. I may change my port and come in a different way, like wearing a mask, changing my physical appearance, and come with a different name. Then they can also use non-standard port. HTTP use port number 80, but they may change it to, instead of that. Okay, this is one way they can use as a tactics. And they can also tunnel. If we have a firewall, I can create an end-to-end tunnel to bypass the firewall. Right? And also we're using encryption. So it can mask. If I'm doing a HTTPS tunnel, whatever is going in between, nobody will be able to see. Like before, let us say this is the firewall. Okay, this is the firewall. I'm coming and going. Okay, so you check here and say that Ibrahim is blocked. It's fine. But what I'm going to do, instead of Ibrahim coming like this, I'm going to make a tunnel through the firewall. Okay, because this is the known source. So that communication is happening with the trusted source and destination. Now what I'm going to do, since it's encrypted, the firewall does not know what it is happening. I'm going to hide inside the tunnel and Ibrahim is coming. Now can you tell me now, firewall, can it detect or not? Will it be able to detect? Yes, no? Yes or no? Are you able to follow me? I'm not directly coming, rather I'm coming through a tunnel. I'm hiding inside the encryption. So firewall will not stop me because I'm already encrypted. I'm coming the same way the malware, viruses, and attacks, worms can come through an encrypted tunnel to your PC. So firewall will think that it's okay, it's a legitimate traffic, but inside there is a file which is coming with a infected malware. So you understood the techniques. That's why you need to understand what is TTP. And also the cloud, you have something called public cloud as well as private cloud. Right? So public cloud is what? Like, can you give an example for some of the public cloud? What is the example of public cloud? AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, right? All of them are public cloud. Yes. Private means what? Instead of keeping there, you can install in your data center. Maybe using virtualization. Right? You use the same Microsoft technology, but it is inside your organization, not on the cloud. Then we are talking about SaaS-based application. We talked about SaaS-based application, Office 365, Salesforce, all of them are SaaS-based applications. So data is located everywhere in today's enterprise network, including many locations, right? That is not controlled by you because you are sending data where it is stored, in Amazon, in Google. Is it under your control? Somebody is controlling, right? So that is a problem. This is emerged new challenges for the organization because you are doing the SaaS-based model into the network. Visibility, data is often stored where the application resides, that is in the cloud, so that you don't have a control on the data as a company, because in the cloud you cannot control. So visibility is less. Responsibility, who is responsible? You cannot protect your own data because the service provider has to make sure it is secured. So security becomes not only your responsibility now. Whose responsibility? Whose responsibility? It's also responsibility of Azure, Amazon, IBM, Google. They also take the ownership to secure your data. You got the point? So this is something which is very important. So what are the challenges? You can have a malicious outsider. From outside, they can come. Some malware will even target application themselves. Okay. And also malicious inside that company. Right? Internal users can also create a threat. And accidental data exposure. You may by mistake, some configuration mistake, or maybe you have a staff which is not trained. So instead of configuring a blocking policy for a particular data, he may have missed it. He allowed the policy to access the data. So anybody can in the cloud can see the data, accidental data exposure. Also, you may do accidental share, mistype and share that information. Promiscuous share, okay? Data being publicly shared sometimes, and also ghost share. The same remains active for an employee vendor that is no longer working in the company. So somebody is there, I worked in a company, I had an access, now I resigned, or maybe I'm not in the contract, still I have an access. That is called ghost share. So these are the challenges with cloud-based security, SaaS model. Okay. Are you able to follow so far? Is it clear? We have a few more slides, but I want to make sure you understand step by step, because if your foundation is strong, you become very good in application. You will be able to learn any concept in cybersecurity. Any vendor, I'm promising you, once your foundation is strong, then Cisco, Microsoft, Palo Alto, Fortinet, ethical hack, anything you can do it because your foundation is strong. So far, is it clear? So now we understood the SaaS security challenge. Let me get into the compliance standard. So that next question comes to our mind. If I am using the internet, if I am using SaaS product, if some problem happen, so who will take the ownership? Who is going to control? Who is going to penalize? Can I take them to the court? Can I ask them for refund? So what is the compliance? Right? So let us talk about that. The most industry face constant data regulatory and compliance challenges. So we call it something like NIST, Indian standard. We have NISA. If you are working in UAE, these are the government standard. They tell you, or GDPR. Have you heard about GDPR? In UK, Europe, GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation Act. So if your data is exposed, the company has exposed your data, they will penalize, thousands of dollars to the company. Okay, even they can shut down the company. That is a regulation from the government. So we need to know what is the regulatory and compliance challenges. So change and complexity. Many laws, regulations are obsolete, and sometimes it's ambiguous, it's confusing. So there is no international standard. Every country has its own. Right? And also the laws are changing. The cyber criminal law, cyber law. As we know that many countries are developing now. They don't have a proper standard on cyber laws. Some regulation may also be inconsistent with other applicable laws, and also as a result, business and organization in every industry struggle to achieve, because I need to comply with, for example, I'm a healthcare industry. There is something called HIPAA, HIPPA. If I am a credit card and e-commerce, there is something called PCI DCS standard. So education industry, every industry has its own standard. I need to maintain that. That is something a big challenge. So an organization can fully comply with all the applicable laws and regulation. Still, it may not be secure because there is nothing called 100% security. You may say, I'm doing the policies, procedure, fantastic, but still you are exposed, because we can also do social engineering. Maybe there is a loophole, we do not know. So yet not fully compliant. The further complicate this point. Even though you did do your best, still there is a possibility. Right? So these are the challenges with compliance. So standard and regulation, as I told you, something called PCI standard. PCI is used for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. PCI DSS. I said DCC, DSS. So if you are doing anything related with the payment gateway, any credit card, debit card online, you need to comply with that. All the vendors have to comply. If not, you are problem. That means if any fraud happens, they will take into legal action based on the local law and regulation. Then in Europe, I told you about GDPR, Data Protection Regulation Act. So all the European Unions comes under that. So if any data breach, data leakage, they can take you to the court. So is that clear? We have talked something very simple, PCI, DSCS and GDPR. Also, I told about HIPAA for healthcare industry. There are other standards. So now let us get into attacker profile. Yeah, attacker profile. So what is the profile? So based on my intention, my name changes. So there are high profile attacks, and also you can also have script kiddies. We call some people who learn for fun and do an attack on you. There is so many ways. So cyber criminals are the most common attack profile. They are the one who is commonly available. Their objective is what? Can anyone tell what is the objective of cyber criminal? Their objective is to make money. Okay. They are also known as for the provision of bots and botnet attack. That is what they do. Then you have something called state affiliated groups. Now, what high profile attacks against infrastructure, government, voting system. I told you about Ukraine attack. Is it a state sponsored attack or it is a cyber criminal? What is that? Can you type? Ukraine, what is happening with Russia and Ukraine? There is a massive attack. So which category it comes? Is it a state affiliated group or cyber criminals? Type please. Which type? It's a exactly state affiliated group. Yeah, that is something government. Then activist. Cyber terrorist. It's someone who attack because you want to create panic. You want to sabotage. For example, there was an attack in power grid of Indian electricity board in Maharashtra. Do you know that or not? Do you know that? You want me to show? Let me show that so you will understand how dangerous such things are. Okay, let me take that. Maharashtra. Cyber attack. Can you see my screen? Are you able to see the news? Yes? What is saying? China cyber attack on Maharashtra power grids. Okay. It's electricity. So it's a state sponsored. They also tried Kodankulam nuclear power plant in 2019. So now cyber attack is no more a business of personal. It is something related to the country. As I said, it is called cyber warfare. It is called cyber warfare. So we can also check other attacks. Maybe you can go to the site and check a lot of things happening. Okay. Just this is for your information. And also, they are saying that 2020 replaced but human error. There are different things coming around. So you can go and search this news just to get more information about what is cyber terrorist or state sponsored attack. Then we have script kiddies. These are people like small guy who is not expert. They are doing it for fun. They want to just take some revenge. They want to bully someone. This is called cyber script kiddies. Okay. So let us get into the most important thing and the most last couple of slides in our today's topic is attack life cycle. How a cyber attack happens. So if you understand this, then you will be able to know what is happening and how to stop it. So the life cycle, a cyber attack life cycle strategy has evolved with a high value server or asset to a patient. Right? Multiple step, blunt exploits, malware, and they are all called coordinated network attack. So life cycle illustrate how they start. First thing is called reconnaissance. They just want to, spy on you. know about where you are, what you are doing. It is the first thing is called recognize. So the second one is called weaponizing. And when I know, I add a payload. It's like putting a bullet inside the gun. Okay. Then delivering, giving to the terrorist or giving to the police to kill a thief or a terrorist to kill someone. Delivering that. Then they exploit. They know that how to get inside your home, inside the particular organization. Then they install a particular malware or virus inside. Then they take control from the remote. Then they do the objective. They can steal the data. They can crash your PC. So if you find that we are talking about grid attack in Mumbai. My question, do you think that all of a sudden the grid will go off? Or first they do the spy, they send a payload, a malware, they deliver the malware to the grids, they exploit the vulnerabilities inside the system, they install the malware, then they communicate from China to the power grid, then they steal the data, bring down the entire power grid, and they shut down the entire power grid. So how does it has a process? Are you able to now follow? Recognize, weaponizing, delivery, exploitation. So as a cyber security engineer or ethical hacker, your duty is to find out which phase of attack we are. So if we are in delivery, you find it, you can stop. The sooner you stop it, you will be able to protect and stop the hacker from achieving his objective. Okay? Is it clear? This is called attack. Right? There is something called, you can go and say what is the attack, how you can define. There is something, a complete slide is there. So what is high profile attack? The goals of attack have changed now. They don't target me, you and myself. They want to target at a high profile because they can make a lot of money out of it. Right? So let us see what is high profile attack. Okay.
The goals of attackers have changed dramatically and are now mostly associated with financial gain. Today's largest attacks are not directed at individuals but more often are directed at company data and application structures that are not properly encrypted or secured. Often these attacks also do not specifically target a company's assets, but instead are focused on gathering personal data from both employees and customers, including personally identifiable information, or PII, transactions and financial data, and also account and password information. Further complicating the problem is the fact that these attacks often persist for prolonged periods before they are detected, and companies are reluctant to publicly disclose the events. The screen shows some of the larger recent high-profile attacks associated with the number of accounts that...
Can you just imagine what is the high-profile attack? Yahoo, 3 billion users were affected. eBay, 145 million. Uber, 57 million. And drivers, 600K. Home Depot, WannaCry, it impacted 300K devices over 150 countries. Can anyone take a screenshot and share it in the group? Tahir, please take a screenshot and share it in this group. This is called high-profile attacks. Okay? It's very huge and it is going to impact.
That are known to have been affected. You might also notice that an emerging trend is a dramatic increase in ransom attacks. For example, WannaCry, ransomware attacks encrypt data stores and force victims to pay a fee to decrypt their data. Not networks, but also state-affiliated cyber.
Yeah, there's also attack in government. Yeah. So you understood the entire concept. Let us have a quick check now, knowledge check. Which three options describe the relationship between interaction between customer and source? Complex deployment, customer and source. Convenient and economical. Which one? Extensive man, internet or application based, subscription service. All of you, can you type the answer? I'll go with your answer. Choose three answers from this. As a customer and source, what is the relationship interaction? Why I'm choosing SaaS? Why I'm going with Office 365? Yeah. Somebody is saying that convenient, economical, okay. Internet and application based subscription service. Very good, Mohammed Haris. Do you agree with Mohammed Haris? All of you. He's saying convenient and economical. It's internet and application based and subscription service. So let us submit. I think all of you. Does anyone differ from this? No, right? Okay. No installation. Yeah, okay, fine. So submit. Yeah, you're right. Thank you. Thank you, Mateen, who has given the answer. Yeah, Mohammed Haris, thank you. So that is the answer. So you understood the importance. So let's get mobile devices are easy targets for attacks. For which two reasons? Why? Why they are easy target? They have poor battery charging capabilities. They stay in always on, always present state. They roam in unsecured area. They use speakerphone. Two answers. They stay in always on, always present. They roam in unsecured, areas. Always on 2 and 3. Yeah. So let us see who has given. Yeah, Abu Sumaya has given. What about others? All of you agree? Okay. Let us submit. Thank you. Excellent. That's the right answer. Yeah. So let us get into the third one, which is about. What is the question? Which path or tool is used by attackers? They use threat vector, source, anti-malware, storage. Which tool is used by the attacker? Threat vector, anti-malware update, SAN, source. Zakaria is saying one. Do you all agree? Does anyone disagree? No. So let me try which path or tool. Yeah, you're right. Threat vector. You're right. So which kind of server is a master server that is designed to listen to individual compromise endpoints and respond with appropriate attack commands? We said recognize, weaponize, deliver, exploit, command and control, and achieve the objective. Which one? Web, bot, directory, or command and control? How do I communicate? Which one? What is the server, master server, which can take information? Deepaki is saying command and control. Zakaria is saying bot. Which one? And we're talking about the master server, not the client, master server. Okay. Which can take control. Bot. Many people are saying bot. Who is agreeing with? Deepak. Who is agreeing with Deepak? I agree with Deepak. Okay. Let me see. Command and control. Right? Command. Bot is a program which could be used for launching attack. It's an automated program. But command and control center is where you can take the information. Can you see here? Which is the location? Can you see? Command and control. So C2 is called internet, so that can modify their attack objective and methods and also avoid any security measures. C2 trust must be therefore stealthy for an attack to succeed. Attack communication traffic is usually hidden from various tools like encryption, circumvention, port evasion, fastplex, DNS tunneling. So do you agree now? Deepak is the right answer. Okay, many people have said bot. Bot is a program, it's run like automated tool, like a robot. Okay, it's great, wonderful. So we have covered the first module. We have understood what is the security landscape. We discussed about SaaS application like Web 2, Web 3, and we also talked about different laws and regulation, protection regulation standard, and also we understood the threats and attacker profile like cyber criminals for money, state-sponsored terrorism for attacking a country, cyber terrorists who want to sabotage, script kiddies who are just doing it for fun and play. And also we understood the life cycle, very important. Recurrence. Recurrence means monitoring. Then weaponizing, delivering, installation, exploiting, command and control, and achieving the objective. It's not one time I steal the data. I need to follow the process. Okay. Is it clear for all of you? I hope, because since it's a foundation, I'm taking more time to give you a real-time example, connecting with the stories. I can do it also just 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But here, since you are setting up the base, I'm giving more time for you to understand. Does it make sense? So now let us talk about cyber attack types, different type of attacks, an objective. Okay. We'll also talk about malware and how it works. So what is malware? It is a malicious software is called as a malware. So this is something like a file or a code. When you click on that or when you install it can collect information about your PC, your personal information, or it can take the control of your endpoints, right? It can also damage the infected endpoints. So malware is something which we all know it is inclusive of all terms. So it could be virus, worms, it could be Trojan horse, all of them come as a malware. So advanced or modern malware, they refer to new or unknown malware. Okay, they are highly sophisticated and often it has specialized targets. They can also bypass your firewall, your endpoint security. So that is the ability of that advanced malwares. So what are the type of malwares? We'll start with something called virus. This is what we normally hear. Virus is something, it's a self-replicating but must infect a host program and be executed by the user. So you need to click that in order to infect you. That is a virus. Once it's done, once it's infected, then it will have that problem. It will cause that impact. So worms, on the contrary, it's also malware. All of them are malware type, but target a computer network, not one, but it can target the group of computers. And it can also replicate and spread from one PC to another PC, one person to another person. Like COVID-19. If you ask me COVID-19 is a virus or worm, I'll tell it's worm because it comes to me, then it can spread to others, self-replicating or replicating into a network, into the vicinity. Right? So worms do not need to infect other programs and do not need to be executed by a user. It doesn't have to infect, it just spread like that. Right? So you don't have to click. No, once it's there, it can cause damage. That is an idea. Trojan horse is something which hides. Inside, you think that it's a harmless program, this guy is okay. But at the end of the day, it is dangerous. It's something hiding inside a horse and coming out. It's a traditional Chinese word. You can go and search this book called Art of War. It's a Chinese famous book, Art of War. So ransomware is something which can take control of your laptop or PC or mobile and encrypt your entire hard disk. So nothing will be accessible to you. If I encrypt your hard disk, do you think that the processor will work? Application will work? Will it work? No. So I will ask you to please pay some ransom to me, money to me, bitcoins, so that I can decrypt the data. That is mainly done for financial gain, like CryptLocker, CryptoWall, are example of crypto ransomware. And anti-AV, this is just purpose is what? It comes, install and disable your antivirus. Okay? Backdoors. What is backdoors? Coming behind, bypass the authentication and gain access to the compromise system. So you need to enter the username password. But when I have a backdoor, I don't have to do that. I can just gain the access. Backdoors. It's like coming behind your home, behind the doors which are behind your home, coming not in the front door. The rootkits are something, it has got provides privileged access to the computer because it's installed on the BIOS. When you start the computer, it does the BIOS check, am I right? Basic IO self-test, BIOS, basic IO, all of them are available like your memory, RAM, and also mainly you have something called kernel. Then it boots the operating system. So even operating system cannot detect. You have antivirus in the operating system, but if it is infecting the BIOS, can the operating system detect that? Will it be able to detect? No. It's called rootkit. And also something called bootkit. It's a kernel mode. As I said, it's part of rootware, but instead of BIOS, it is there in the kernel mode. So it is used to protect the fully disk encryption, and spyware are something which is the intention is to monitor you, what you are surfing, what you are logging, your information. So spyware often changes browsers and other software setting. They can make it slow. So these are the different malware. And the last one, logic bombs. So it is there, but it will trigger only at a specific condition is met. If the condition occurs, then trigger this action. That is called logic bombs. Yeah, such a given date or a particular user account is being disabled. So what is advanced malware? It can leverages network to gain power and resilience. All right, they can dig deeper into the network and make changes and enact countermeasures. So this is a fundamental shift compared to earlier type of malware, which were generally independent agents, right, that simply infected and replicated themselves. That is a major change in advanced malware. So let us see what is advanced malware. It's a small video.
Advanced malware increasingly has become a centrally coordinated, networked application in a very real sense. In much the same way that the internet changed what was possible in personal computing, ubiquitous network access is changing what's possible in the world of malware. Now, all malware of the same type can work together toward a common goal, with each infected endpoint expanding the attack foothold and increasing the potential damage to the organization.
Okay, so you understood what is the advanced malware. That's something which is happening, right? And type of advanced malware, so we call it as something like this, right? We call it as like you have obfuscation. Obfuscation is where I hide, right? And polymorphism, distributed and multifunction. So what is obfuscation? It's a technique to hide certain binary strings that are characteristically used in malware. So if you hide it or you change it, the anti-malware signature cannot detect it. So antivirus works based on signature. It checks if it is matches, then it will tell you it is a virus. Right? So you need to understand that. Then you have something called advanced malware. Okay, polymorphism. It can change. Okay, and used to avoid detection by traditional signature-based anti-malware tools because they can change the signature of the malware, thus producing an infinite number of unique signature assets. So, can you relate this with the COVID? Variant 1, variant 2, variant 3? Are you able to understand? So, it changes the patterns every time it comes with a new signature, new pattern. We call it as new variant. So, maybe you took a booster, you took a COVID injection 1, maybe now they're asking you to use booster dose 1, booster dose 2, because they're saying that the new one does not, is not controlled by the previous injection you took it. So that is called polymorphism. It changes its color. And distributed is using bots and other things. Distributed and can create an attack. Multifunction is based on command and control servers. Right? They can establish an attacker to use endpoints strategically to accomplish specific tasks like stealing the credit card, sending spam, and other malware, payloads like spyware, etc. So multifunction, doesn't do one function, it does multiple functions. So let us understand what is vulnerability and exploit. Okay. The vulnerability and exploits, we call it, it can be leveraged to force software to act in ways it is not intended. For example, you have a Microsoft Office application, or you are opening a Word, MS Word. What is the function of MS Word? Type. Chat box, what is the function of MS Word? It's just to create document, right? But if I can change that to different output, or I change the intent, that means I am exploiting that particular software. So vulnerability are routinely discovered software at an alarming stage. It has the way it is working is changed. So it may exist in software when software is initially developed and released. Also, it may be inadvertently created or even reintroduced when subsequent versions, updates, and security patches are installed. So vulnerability is something which we need to be very careful. What is exploit? Exploit is a type of malware that take care of advantage of the vulnerability. Okay, in installed endpoint or server software, such as web browser, like we talked about Java login server, log4j. So I know that there is a vulnerability. I can make use of that, take advantage. That is called exploit. It's a type of malware. So an attacker can grasp a specific program like exploit, the target software vulnerability, causing the software to perform functions and or execute code on behalf of the attacker. That is called exploit. So patching, how do you do? So first of all, you have to discover what is happening, then develop the patch. You find out that what is the problem, so you can create a patch like what we did with COVID. They were creating a COVID injection, right? Till that, they were developing that. Then test, then deploy the patch. This is a different step. So how they are executed exploits? First of all, they create, creation of exploit is a data file is a two-step. The first step is to embed a small piece of malicious code within the particular data file. The second part is memory corruption techniques, right? So that can bring down the entire system or change the behavior of the particular vulnerable software. Second one, action. So once it's created, such like your document viewer or web browser, then they will establish communication and provide the ability to upload additional malware to the target system. So it's not that they are going to use the first payload to cause damage. No, the first payload is just to create a communication channel. You got the point? Once I created a communication channel, then I will deliver a next malware to the endpoint, which could be creating more dangers, which could be causing more damage to the system. Right? Action. Third one is techniques. They use a lot of techniques, complex techniques to attack. Then the fourth one is heap spray. It's a technique used to facilitate arbitrary code execution by injecting a certain sequence of bytes into the memory of the target process. So you started giving, and when you're opening, for example, when you open a PDF or Word, some code get executed and corrupt to your memory, your PC becomes blue screen. Have you observed this? Have you seen this before? It's called heap spray. Timeline of eliminating vulnerability. First of all, you have to software develop, then they do to exploit begins. They publicly announce the vulnerability that we found there is a vulnerability. Then they have to release the patch that this is the fix, because this is also known as zero-day threat. Right? Vulnerability and development and release of a patch is known as zero-day threat or exploit. Then deploy the patch and then protected by the vendor patch, or maybe you need to monitor. So this is the 7-step process. When you find the vulnerability, then you need to develop, test it, deploy it, monitor it. So let us understand some of the questions. Are you ready for the Q&A? Yeah. What type of malware can have multiple control servers distributed all over the world within multiple fallback options? Logic bombs, exploits, rootkits are advanced. Which is the answer? This is the answer. Yeah. Advanced, exactly. So which type of malware disables protection of software? Anti-AV, worm, exactly, anti-AV. Worm, Trojan, and ransomware, anti-AV. So we have learned about different type of malwares, what is vulnerability and exploits, and how modern malwares plays the central role in coordinated attack. We call it as DDoS attack, and the timeline of eliminating a vulnerability. It's not going to be easy. You have to develop and deploy. Okay. So let us get into the third part of our session. Which is called cyber attack techniques. Yeah. So you can use different techniques, and attackers use different techniques and types to achieve their objective. Like, for example, they use the backdoor or remote access Trojans. We call it as rats and other malware to ensure that once they have access, they are persistent. We call it as advanced persistent threats, APT. Okay. The first one is called spamming. So what is the process of spreading unsolicited content to targeted points, which you are not expected to receive, but they spam with a lot of messages. Spam is an email effective way to deliver spam. Phishing. Phishing is performing a phishing attack via voicemail or robocalling. They call you using a voicemail and they do the phishing. So different type of spamming. So once you receive that spam emails, but once you click that, then it can create a problem. So what is phishing attack? Different type. We often think spamming and phishing are the same. Spamming is just sending messages, but phishing is different. They require own mitigation and defenses. Phishing attacks, in contrast to spam, are becoming more sophisticated and difficult to identify. Spam, if you have a anti-spam tool, it can detect an email and send it to the spam folder. Do you have a spam folder in your Gmail? Is it there? Yes, no? All of you. Do you think every day you are going and configuring the spam folder that send it to the spam, or it is automatically sending to the spam folder? Can you tell me how it works? Does it send automatically, or you are doing it and that is the spam, send it there? Please type. It's automatic, right? So, but phishing is different. So we call it spear phishing. It's targeted attack to a particular person, okay, so that I can gain information from this guy. And there you have whaling. It's a spear phishing attack, but it's specifically directed at a senior executive like CEO, president of the country, army chief. So it's called whaling. Water holing. So it attacks compromised websites that are likely to be visited by a target victim. For example, you are visiting every day Amazon.com, or you're visiting game site. So that I can install a malware there. So when you are visiting, you also get infected. Like insurance company website, visited by the healthcare providers. It's called water holding or drive-by download. Farming. It's an attack. Redirect a legitimate website traffic to the fake site. So you are going to ICICI.com, but instead of going there, the attackers redirect you to fake ICICI.com. It is called farming. By typically modifying the DNS server IP address, we call it as DNS poisoning. When you type ICICI.com, it gives the actual IP address, but I can change the IP address of ICICI.com by poisoning your DNS record and send your request to my fake website. So when you come to my website, I can inject a malware into it. That's called farming. So let us understand what is bots and botnets. This is the next important thing. So first of all, we need to understand this bot or botnet is very difficult to detect with your antivirus malware solution because they are more sophisticated. Okay. So it's like you are infected user, I create a bot, then enablers or intermediate like your Facebook, BitTorrent, and other things, then they have a command and control solution. So it is a complete architecture. So what is bot? Bots are zombies. We call it as zombies. They are individual endpoints that are infected with advanced malware, not the normal malware, advanced malware. So their purpose is to create a group of, system which can all at the same time target an enemy. So advanced malware that enables an attacker to take control of the compromised environment. That is called bots. Okay, what is botnet? As the name suggests, it is a network of bots, right? It's a network of bots. You will have thousands of bots like this, zombies. So they can work together and attack using numerous servers. Right? The instance of bot and botnets, the advanced malware work together towards common objective, with each bot growing with power, destructives of the overall bot. For example, if one person attacks, there may be damage, maybe 1%. So let us say 5% damage. If I'm having 20 people attacking the enemy, there will be 100% damage. Is it not? So the more bot you have, you have a power and you can cause a lot of destruction to the enemy. That is called instance of bot and botnets. Flexibility, they also have the ability to evade defenses. Because it's a DDoS attack continuously coming, they can, it can present a significant threat to organization because they can evade, they can escape. So ultimate impact of the botnet is largely left on the attacker and from spending spam one day to stealing credit card data, because many cyber attacks go undetected for months or even years. So you may think that nothing is happening, but actually somebody is every day stealing your data. You may find it maybe after 1 or 2 days, or maybe 1 month, 2 months, after a year. So how to disable botnet? So they are mainly coming from the different sources, am I right? So the cyber criminals, they harvest computing services, bots, and control of botnet C2 servers can be sold or rendered out to the cyber criminals. So they rent it in the internet. That's how now they do. So it is very difficult to disable unless you stop those C2 server, like control of botnet, unless you can stop them. What are the problem with the disabling botnet? Resources, the first thing. Okay. It is very difficult to take down. And the server, C2 servers often require both physically seizing the server and taking ownership, right? Or stopping the particular IP address. So imagine if I have hundreds of servers in the net, or each server in different geography. And also they are going to have redundancy, right? They don't rely on only one C2 server. C2 server is nothing but a brine. We call it as a brine. Okay. This is the bot is infected endpoint. The brine is called C2 server, command and control server. So they have also redundancy. Also, it is very easy for them to recover because they are doing in the cloud. And they do something called DDoS attack. Botnet servers used to control infected endpoints, and they can launch at the same time massive volume of spam, spreads, ransomware, and attack distributed DDoS services. So let us see one example of DDoS attack. Let me show you one such example. Largest attack. Can you see this? Now Microsoft had an top most DDoS attack from the same. So Microsoft had recently, and they also stopped. And the same way, the Cloudflare, they also had attack. What is that? Yeah. Cloudflare also they had an attack. Okay, Cloudflare. So let us see let us read some of them. So they are saying that they had almost 3.47 terabits per second size data, attack, DDoS attack. Okay. It is coming from where? Can you see this? All of you? 110,000 sources. Is it coming from the same country? Is it coming from the same country? Jamal. Adnan. Is it coming from? No, it's coming from United States, China. So it's coming from different directions across the globe. So it's very difficult to stop. We believe this is the largest attack ever reported in history. 3.4, not gigabit, terabits. Okay. Then there is a complete article how they stopped it. Okay. And also there is another one in Cloudflare. They also stopped that because attack 2.54 terabytes, back in 2018. So these are the different attacks they do. So these as attack are called as advanced malwares, advanced type of attack. Is that clear for all of you? Let me also say now, Ukraine DDoS. So Ukraine also they did the DDoS attack because they cannot just go and install malware. So what is the name this called? Can you see the name? Can anyone type? What is the name of that? They call it as a Viper. Viper. Right? They are saying that Ukraine has been hit by more cyber attacks. So it is done, but so it has taken. The incident appears consistent with the recent DDoS attack. Okay. So Ukraine digital minister is saying that net blocks data indicates the wave of DDoS attack and Ukraine began Wednesday, and then everything is. So what is going to happen? You will say that site cannot be reached because they are attacking. So normally you cannot see the website. So it is called Viper. So they're also planning for. So this is called hybrid warfare. Okay, now you understood what is DDoS. How to disable the internet access. That is the only way. Monitor the connectivity. Remove devices from botnet software. Install current patches. And also you have something called spamming botnets. The largest botnets are often dedicated to sending spam. Okay, so they can create, bring down the productivity and also reputation for the company. So one example, Rusttalk is an example of spamming botnet. Its name is Rusttalk. So it sent a spam message, saying that it can send up to 25,000 spam email per hour from an individual phone. And also infection, it's been infected more than 2.5 million computers worldwide. What is the resolution? FBI, working with Microsoft and others, was able to take down Rockstar botnet. By then the botnet app operated more than 5 years. At the time, it was responsible for sending 60% of world spam. So this is what is going to happen. So what is DDoS attack? It's a type of cyber attack in which high volume of network traffic, such as packets, data is transmitted, so that your actual site like e-commerce, website replication, unavailable or unusable to the legitimate users. So they mainly use bots. Use of bots is mainly things. Then they do brute force attack to take the password. Then they target the particular machine. And also they do dual risk for organization because it cannot be targeted for DDoS attack. Okay, and even if the organization is in ultimate target, any infected endpoints participating in the attack will consume valuable bandwidth. Like I'm taking your own resource. It's like I'm taking your spoofing attack. Like I take your email ID or your Facebook ID use that Facebook ID to attack somebody else. Okay, that is something which is very dangerous. So targeted strategy, they use a different strategy to bring down DDoS attack. So financial, they call it CUs and SPY. They are responsible for direct theft of funds from type of enterprise. So they are spamming or DOS botnets which grow as large as possible for a single attack. So financial botnets are often sold as kits. So you can buy and then it's like a code, license the code and build their own botnet. So you don't have to be a programmer. You can buy in the cyber crime underworld and then develop your kit and launch it. Right? That is how it happens. So Mirai botnet variant was used to attack against at least one financial sector in 2018. And also there is something called IoT botnet. It's observed in Mirai botnet took down multiple websites in 2017. So this is all about cyber attacks. Let us see some questions. Another term for bot is zombie. True or false? Quickly, yes, true. Yes, zombies. So the spread of unsolved content to target endpoint is known as spamming, phishing, exploiting, farming. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Quickly. Should I try spamming? Okay, it's spamming. It's called spamming. So what type of attacks utilize many endpoints and affect the public accessible service? Adware, Bluetooth, or DDoS? Which one? It's a DDoS attack, right? Yes. So that is all about different cyber attack. Let's get into advanced persistent threat, and then we will end with security mitigation techniques. Okay, we have another 30 minutes. We'll try to wind up the session. So what is advanced persistent threats and Wi-Fi vulnerability? So APT are a class of threats that are far more deliberate and also potentially devastating than other type of attacks. So it is a coordinated events that are associated with cyber criminal group. So it's not done just like installing a malware. No, it's happening with the cyber criminal group. So it is advanced because they use advanced malware and exploits. Persistent because it takes over several years. Okay, not one time. Maybe the months and years. Okay, and threats. It is deliberate and focused rather than opportunities. They will not look for opportunity. No, they are very targeted, deliberate. So it may be there for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. You do not know. It's called advanced persistent threat. One example is Lazarus. Attack against nation state and corporation are common, and the group of cyber criminals that may have done the most damage is Lazarus. The group is known for APT. This is one group called APT. Okay, so what they do, it's known to operate on different names, including Bloom or Off or Hidden Cobra. They were initially known for launching numerous attacks against government and financial institutions in South Korea and Asia. What is their target? Their targets are bank, casinos, and financial involvement, and also cryptocurrencies. And what they do, expansion. It's malware exploited group recently has been found in 18 countries around the globe. Okay? So that one example is Lazarus. So let us understand what is Wi-Fi. What are the challenges in Wi-Fi? Do you connect? All of us connect to the Wi-Fi using what? How do you connect to the Wi-Fi network? How do you connect to the Wi-Fi network? Using the SSID, am I right? So Wi-Fi networks We need to secure, but most also protect the mobile devices their organized employees use to perform work, access personally sensitive data. Because I bring my mobile, I connect to my network, I browse the net, I access the email. So that is also a problem now. So public airwaves, though these are something which is based on 2.4 to 5 gigahertz frequency range, and that can be used for shared with other technologies, Bluetooth. Wi-Fi is extremely vulnerable to congestion and collision. That is Wi-Fi network. We call it as wireless LAN, WLAN. So you need to have a SSID. Once this SSID is configured, broadcasted, and you try to connect, it will ask for the SSID code, security code. Right? So once it's enabled, you will connect to the mobile device and customer app. So your mobile device itself are vulnerable. Something called bring your own device. So you bring your laptop, your iPad, your notepad into company and then trying to connect to the company network and browse corporate email, financial services through your mobile and gadgets. Is it secure? No, because you are not having an updated antivirus. Maybe you are not having a security policy. So the first thing the company does is apply a security policy into your devices so that you are able to securely browse, or they may put you into a different zone. Okay. Let us understand what are the wireless security. So mainly the wireless Wi-Fi security begins and ends with authentication. So you cannot protect the digital asset if it cannot control who has access to the wireless network. It's very, very important. So how I can make sure only certain people access? I can limit through authentication. Only with username, password they can access. But also I make sure that your connection is secured with encryption. And also only participate with the known networks. These are the very important topic. So what is called Wi-Fi, WPA, Wi-Fi Protected Access? WLAN networks do not subscribe to .1x model. We still experience the authentication challenge. .1x is what? Like a NAC solution. When you connect your PC into wireless, it will ask you to authenticate using the username password from your domain. So if you have like a single sign-on in the Active Directory, when you connect your device, it will take the username password from the Active Directory, then it will let you in. Also, it will check for the MAC address. Also, it can check whether your device is having the recent security patches. Do you have an antivirus? If you pass all the policies, we call it as security posture, then I give access to the corporate network. It's called 8.1 model. So WPA is standard, but they have like PA2, even now we have PA3, which is more good, right? So its encryption standard is no longer secure enough for Wi-Fi network, right? They use AES, 64-bit. WP2, they use 64 with 6 hexadecimal character, but with 256-bit. It's much secure, but still it has a problem. When it comes to WPA3, it is almost like 192-bit security suite. It's much more secured. You know, it can use for IoT, smart bulbs, gadget, everything. So the recent trend is when you talk about wireless, you always check do you have WPA3, at least WPA2. Okay. So let us understand some of the concept in Wi-Fi security. Evil twin. So the easiest way for an attacker to find a victim is to set up a wireless access point, and he will serve as a bridge to your real world. So he will mimic a real access point. You go and find that there is an access SSID which is saying free. So you may connect to that. You think that is your corporate network, you connect and start entering the username password. You capture that, use the username password to connect to the actual network. So you mimic a real access point. Catch the great number of users. He connects with all the users. Okay. Then reach the large number of people not targeted. That is called evil twin attack. Is that attacker cannot choose the victim. Okay. In a crowded location, attacker will be able to get large number of people connected to the wireless network to unknowingly expose their account names and passwords. That's why when you are going to shopping mall, railway station, airports, you should be very careful connecting your device and entering your username password. Connecting to your corporate network or banks is very dangerous. Okay, it's called evil twins. Jazager, it is called, it's a targeted approach of evil twins. But it happens. What happens when you bring your wireless device dead back to the location that you have previously visited? That's called Jazager attack. Okay. So when you bring your laptop home, you don't have to choose which access point to use, right? Because it is going to automatically connect. The same goes with visiting an office or your coffee shop. Okay. So when you go there and connect, maybe he can fool you with the wrong SSIDs or wrong access point. Yeah. Rogue access point is something you don't have control. Somebody comes and install. It's not under your control. That is called rogue access point. Evil twins also use something like rogue access point, something which is not registered. The concept is called evil twin, but they are using their own access point, which is again called rogue access point. You're right. Yeah. So let us talk about something called SSL strip. They used to connect to Wi-Fi network. It has been compromised to attack our network by, masquerading as a legitimate network. So once he is done, then he can simply intercept or watch all your web traffic, your Facebook chat, your email, your video call, everything he can take it. So they can use something called Emonet. It's like a Trojan. So it's variant of Wi-Fi spreader model to scan Wi-Fi network looking for vulnerable device to infect. That's called Emonet. They also use something called SSL strip strategy. User sees non-encrypted pages. He sends non-encrypted content. Access point modify and send to the server. He strips the SSL and send to the server so they can know what is there inside the content. So let us have a quick look at the knowledge. Which Wi-Fi attack intercepts the victim web page, redirect victim browser to the web server that it controls and serves up whatever content the attacker desires. What is the name is called? It's called evil twin, Emonet, or Jazazer. What is that? You saw that. It is not. Have it. Jazazer is not the same. So it's going to be evil twin. All right. Is it right? See? Yeah, no. Could be Emonet. Yeah? I think it could be Emonet. No issues. So, which part of APT indicates that attackers use advanced malware and exploits, and typically also have the skill and resources necessary to develop additional cyber attack tools and techniques? Which part of it? It's part of advanced or persistence or threats. What is it? So Pop is saying advanced. Do you agree? Yeah? Let us click advanced and see what is that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. WPT includes functions that generate 256 key based on much shorter phrase created by administrator and used salt for the one-way hash function. Is that true? Can you check that? WP2, does it use 256? I don't think so. Is it true? Yes. So it uses the same thing, right? One-way hash 256. WP3 is 192-bit security suite. It's a different one. So it's true or false? It's a true. So this is all about wireless security. Now we are coming to the last session. The model will be quickly running through this. In another 15 minutes, we will end today's session. Okay. So let us get into a cybersecurity model. What is the goal of cybersecurity model is to provide measurable threat prevention using trusted and untrusted entities. Maybe sometime you will have an employee coming to your office, sometime your contractor coming to your office, sometime there is a visitor, guest. So how do I make sure that I can minimize the threat? I can provide a threat prevention. So it's really a complicated process, right? So you need to create a proper security model. We call it as perimeter-based security model, wherein it's rely on physical security like mainframe computer, data centers, processing powers. So these are all physical assets. We need to protect them. Then assume trust on internal network. You think that internal networks are secure. So in this strategy, with the perimeter-based network, so countermeasure at a handful and well-defined entrance and exit point. You say this is the entrance point, this is the exit point. Am I right? This is the protected boundary using a firewall. This is called you assume the internal network is safe. Everyone who is working inside are safe. So what is the difference between internal and external? Remote employees, mobile user, and cloud computing solution blur the distinction between internal and external. So these are remote employees. Sometimes they are also employee inside. Also, they are working from home. Wireless technologies. You can create a lot of connection to you. Insiders, where intensely malicious or just careless, they can also present a real security threat. Cyber threat, right? From sophisticated attack, stolen credentials, somebody has stolen your credential, an internal network. They are rarely homogeneous. You have multiple vendors. You go to network, you will find one is on Cisco, Microsoft, you may find Palo Alto, Fortinet, different vendors, right? Heterogeneous, not homogeneous. So they include packets of users, resources with different level of trust and sensitivity. So these are the challenges you have in the internal network. Also, you sometimes allow the unwanted traffic. The broken trust model is not the only issue with perimeter center approach to the network security. Another contributing factor is that security device and technology is commonly used to build network perimeters to let much unwanted traffic. So application control. So you cannot define good application from bad one. Is it not? Encrypted. Do not have adequately account for encrypted application traffic. So if it is encrypted, you will not be able to see what is happening inside. Is that right? Also user identity. And also protection again, threats against attacks, applications, and net result. So these are the problem happening with the traditional perimeter approach. You can also allow untrusted traffic. So what is called zero trust security model? This is something which is implemented across all the enterprise now. Zero trust. I don't trust you unless 1, 2, 3. Okay. You cannot access unless you have 1, 2, 3. So it is a model. It addresses some of the limitation of perimeter-based network security by removing the assumptions of trust from the equation. So here we always assume the trust. Internal network means it's okay. He is a good guy. But in zero trust, even Ibrahim as a CEO of a company, he comes in, no, I don't trust Ibrahim unless he proves that he is same Ibrahim, using some kind of a authentication, authorization, identity, all of that. So you understand the trust model, all of you? Does it make sense? You don't trust anyone unless they prove their identity. This is called zero trust security model. So they are deployed in a way that they provide policy enforcement. So I apply policy to all the user, device, application, resources, and also communication traffic between them, regardless of the location. You are coming from main office, branch office, you are working from home, no problem. As long as you are following the policy that your laptop is updated, you have an antivirus, you don't use the laptop for, split tunneling is disabled, you don't use it for browsing. So if you are following all the policies, then no problem. Irrespective of location, device, you can still access. This is called zero trust model. So no default trust, that is something which is very important. Any entity, including users, regardless of what it is and location. You can be a CEO, I don't care. It also establishes trust boundaries, right? So security can always be enforced regardless of the point of origin of the associated communication traffic. Whether you come from internal network, from DMZ, from head office, branch, or work from home. I will apply, the policies irrespective of the boundaries. We call it trust boundaries. And also I keep monitoring, always verify. Okay, ongoing monitoring and inspected traffic. So what is the benefit? It is good, it improves greater efficiency, ability, low total cost of ownership. So what is the design principle of zero trust? Ensure resource access. That is the first principle. And enforce access control. Who can access what? Do you have an ID card? Do you have a password? Do you have a token? And third one is inspect and log all traffic, irrespective of it is coming from CEO, manager, or employee, or vendor, or guest. Inspect them. This is called core zero trust principle. What is the architecture? First of all, I need to identify the traffic. We call it data, asset, application, and service. We call it as a DAS. Like SaaS, it is called DAS. Data, asset, application, services. All of them have to be protected. Okay? Data, asset, application, services. So you need to identify the traffic, okay, among the organization DAS, infrastructure, and then you segment them into different VLANs. So if he is coming from finance group, put them into finance. If he is coming from development, put them into development. So you create a segmentation. We call it as network segmentation or micro segmentation, whatever you call it. Right? So it is secured, and also you can control, and also you can monitor. Then conceptual architecture, how does it look? This is called a zero trust conceptual architecture, where you have all your resources, your wireless zone, your B2B, management zone, campus zone. So I already made a segmentation. Then I am giving another zone for application, PC application, another zone for web application, another zone for employee application. So what I have done, I have compartmentalized. I have made them everything as a different segment. So somebody has to access this application, they have to go through the firewall, trust, they need to prove why they are accessing that. Is that clear? So fundamental assessment is very important, right? So you need to make sure that. And management infrastructure, centralized management, so that I know who is accessing what is the logs. If there is any incident, I can find out. It can create a network visibility, detect unknown threats, and support compliance reporting. So fundamental assessment and management infrastructure is very important. Third one is single component. So it works as a single component in a single physical location. Because of the performance, effective implementation is more likely to entail multiple instances throughout the organization. So this is called single component. So this is a zero trust conceptual architecture. Can anyone take this screenshot and paste it? I'll give you 2 minutes. Have you taken the screenshot? Yeah, thank you. Okay, let me talk. So it's assessment, management, and single component, and this is the zero trust architecture, which is very, very important. And if you understand this, that means you are understanding the cyber security very well. Okay. So what is the capability? It can have secure access. So It can have SSL VPN or IPsec VPN so that the traffic is encrypted when you're communicating between two devices. For example, when you're working from home and if you're connecting to your office, do you directly connect like that or use a VPN? How do you connect? You need to use a VPN, am I right? That is something very important. Then inspection of all traffic. So regardless of ports and protocols, I want to make sure that all the traffics should be, inspected. So that I know that, if there is any issues, I can easily detect and provide complete context into application, content, and threat. So inspection of all traffic. And least privileged access control. Application user content. So I want to make sure that I give a least privilege to the user. If you don't require access for the database, why should I give you? So I will give you only to view, not even read or write. Right? Only view, only read, not write or execute. So I will give a least privilege access control. And I also implement anti-malware, IPS, and prevention techniques. So that is also very important in the framework. And finally, coverage all security domains. Right? So you have virtual and hardware appliance and cost-effective desk boundaries throughout the organization network, including you are coming from home, remote, or branch office, or you are a mobile user, you are traveling and you are connecting, or your internet perimeter, cloud, ingress point, data center, and for individual areas, wherever they might exist, I want to cover all the security domains. That is very important. So how do I implement? So I configure listen only mode first to understand what is happening, then define based on what I learned, define the zones, trust zones. This is for application, this is for HR, this is for finance, this is for wireless user, this is for remote users. Then establish the zero trust zones. That is very important. And then implement at major access point. That's what you have to do. So what is the security operation platform? Cybercrime and security threats continue to evolve. It's going to keep on coming, right? So challenge is what? We need to make sure our network boundaries and attack surface are expanded. It's very difficult. It's keep on increasing. So it can lead to intellectual property loss, and also it can impact on the organization, your brand, reputation, business. So what is the problem? Current approach to security, it's only mainly on detection and remediation. It cannot do a growing volume of and sophistication attack. So like you have, for example, automation and big data analysis. It's happening. Entire thing is getting automated. So cyber criminals are not only threat, employees may also unknowingly violate corporate compliance. Decentralized IT infrastructure. We have it in cloud, in your office, and also cloud on edge is coming, edge computing, and traditionally security product. That's a problem, and also complex network. You have multiple complex network, DevOps, containers, Kubernetes, orchestration, and all of them are requiring a new security prevention methods. So how to prevent? Provide full visibility that I know what is happening in the entire network and reduce the attack surface. Don't expose, reduce the attack surface. Prevent all threats, all known threats fast. And also you need to make sure you detect something unknown threats with automation. You need to have tools which can detect the unknown threats. So our objective is what? Prevent us. Don't go on firefight or stop the fire after it has happened, but have a prevention is better than cure. Same way, each device, each one they work, Palo Alto has them something called PanOS, cloud-based, and Panorama. This is about the product. I'm not going to go in detail, but these are some of the product they have for zero trust model. They have it for network. PanOS is a Palo Alto networks run on different things like app ID, content ID, and device ID. Cloud-based, they use on wildfire. That is for malware prevention. Panorama is for management, centralized control, workflow management. Okay. So knowledge set. Let us do that. Which component of zero trust comes to zero trust? Conceptual architecture is called a platform. to reflect that is made of multiple distinct security technologies that operate as part of the holistic threat protection. Which one? Reduce the attack surface and correlate information about discovered threats. Which one? Management, infrastructure, you have here, right? The architecture, you saw that already. So something here. It is going to centralize management capability, particularly implement evolving threats. This is what is called fundamental assertions. This is called single component, am I right? It's also called platform to reflect that is made of multiple distinct security technologies that operate as a part of holistic threats. So it's called single component in zero threat. So everything is one component, is called single component. Okay? Submit. So which zero trust deployment method obtains a detailed picture of traffic flow throughout the network, including when, where, what extent, which one? It is in listen-only mode, define trust mode, establish trust zones, implement major access points. So where do you get the detailed traffic flow? Here, right? Listen-only mode, or so you can have it here. Establish trust zone. So in listen-only, just it can only monitor, right? With define zero to trust, detailed understand network traffic flows in the environment. Second. Third, establish zero trust zones. They can progressively establish trust zones and boundaries of other segments and computing environment. The fourth one is implement major access points. So it implemented major access points, will have replacement and augment legacy network security devices with the zero trust segmentation. So now we are talking about what is this question is all about. Detailed picture of flow throughout the network. When, where. So it is going to happen as per this in where. Listen only, am I right? When, where, and what context. So it is called configure listen only. So listen only. So Prisma suits secure public cloud from SaaS application internet access. Remote, yes, true. Okay. So these are the one which you have learned, and these are the zero trust security. So thank you very much for attending this session. Okay. I hope all of you enjoyed. What I'm going to do is I'll share you some of the documents. If you have registered with us with the email, we'll probably send you the documents. You can watch that. Probably you can see that what is happening. Learn about that. I will also share the link where you can also go and review the entire session. Okay. Please make sure you leave your feedback in the LinkedIn and Facebook. He is going to share in Facebook, LinkedIn, and probably YouTube. Please share your feedback about today's session. I hope you all got a very good idea. If you want to share any feedback today, please, you are most welcome. You can turn on your mic, you can turn on your video and share how did you find today's session. The next one is going to be network security next week. Do you want to share any feedback? Any video feedback? You are most welcome. You can unmute and speak. Anyone? Yeah? I think you should be able to unmute. Yeah. Sanju is saying so informative. Thank you, Sanju. Yeah. Jumail is saying very good. Anyone else would like to share any audio feedback before we end? Rajesh?
Yes, sir. This is Abu Bakr Ghori here. I'm working in Saudi Arabia. Sir, it's an excellent class, sir. Nice to learn all the new concepts. Thank you very much, sir.
From which background?
So actually, I'm from IT background. I have done MTech in computer science engineering, but here my working profile is a mechanical engineer
Okay, okay.
with mechanical background. So I want to switch to the as an IT professional. So that's why I'm getting classes for this one, sir.
Okay, that's good. Please make sure you attend all the 3 weeks. I'm also going to give you a lot of documents, videos to watch. Okay, then we will take you to the next step. Okay, if you are working professional, we can guide you how you can build your career or change your career into cybersecurity. Some of the students, civil and mechanical, and even BCom graduates, now they are working as cybersecurity professionals. So don't worry, you are on the right track. You have chosen the right path. There's so much opportunities in job opportunities in cybersecurity. You know, age is not a limit. You can always work for them. Okay.
That's great. That's great, sir. Thank you very much. Inshallah.
Anyone else would like to say something? Or you want to ask questions? Please feel free.
Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Islam, yes.
Sir, your class is very nice, sir. Very informative, sir. But if you help us to get job, it will be very nice. I am working in the call center field. I am trying to get job in IT field, but it's not happening. But you are giving very nice classes, sir. Very good.
So that's why we have a 6-month program as well. This is a starting. Next month, we will give you more information about ethical hacking, about firewalls. Now you can learn that. Then this is the only thing we are doing it now as open. So then you can contact our team. They will guide you how to create your track in firewall, in ethical hacking. Then even we talk about SIM and SOC, all of them. So we'll create it. This is an awareness session. Okay, Aman. You need to put a lot of effort. Definitely, you will be able to, attain and get a good job. Okay, Asmat.
Okay, thank you, sir. Jazakallah.
Okay. Anyone else would like to add? Tahir, can you share the LinkedIn ID? So, how to hack?
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah. How to also share our mentorship program. See, that is a 6-month program which you can join, later on, but not now. Maybe next session we'll share. You attend all the session, we will share that brochure, how you can benefit. Okay. Tahir, share the feedback form. Somebody is asking, can you tell me how to teach remotely Kali Linux DDoS attack? Yes, Hacker Gray, we are going to teach you in ethical hacking. We have a separate course. We'll be telling you, even will help you to install Kali Linux in your laptop. Okay, it's going to be, I think, month 2. Am I right, Tahir? Yeah. So you need to join the course called Cybersecurity Mentorship Program. It's a separate program. So here only we are creating a basic awareness, creating a fundamental for everyone. But if you want to switch over to cybersecurity, please contact Tahir, like Asmant and Hacker. Contact Tahir, he will help you the step-by-step procedure. Okay. Any other feedback or questions? I have another 2 minutes before I close. Syed Kashif Wali, you want to share something with your nice video? Have your feedback.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Actually, sir, I thought to speak with you personally. Actually, I don't know whether you know, I don't know. I am from IT background. I have done my MCA, but because of some circumstances, I am working in the oil and gas sector in Kuwait. I'm from Kuwait.
Yeah.
So basically, what happening is basically I'm an IT candidate. No, so I'm working in some other field. Every time I am regretting that I'm not working in my field. When can I switch over? That's why whenever your classes are there, sir, I am trying to join. As you know, here is the first day of the week. So I'm not able to concentrate that much. If I'll get that YouTube link, inshallah, I'll try to learn.
Yeah, we'll share
I'll speak with you personally.
Yeah,
I have some other doubts as well.
Thank you.
Jazakallah khair. It's a wonderful session, sir. Thank you very much.
So we'll share the documents and leave it in the group. Yeah. Anyone else would like to ask? Say something. Someone is asking me question. Do you have any other course? Yeah, we run a lot of courses. So you can please contact Tahir. Tahir, please leave your WhatsApp number. So you can connect with him. He will guide you what to, how to, and he will also share you professionals who have changed their career, now they are working in different companies. So we will also show you how you can start your career in cybersecurity. Okay. Tahir, please share your WhatsApp group in the group. Somebody is asking. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Faiz, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question, sir. Sir, I have done my CH certified in ITET only. So after the currently I'm in SOC batch as well. So I'm about to finish my SOC course as well. And regarding the mentorship, in what way it will help me since I have completed CH as well as SOC. So in what aspect in cybersecurity this mentorship program will help me to enhance my cybersecurity skills?
Very good question. Mentorship is something 6-month journey, right? Where you have to make sure you are able to understand all the concept. Okay, you are able to see how each and every component in. For example, in ethical hacking, what you learn? You learned about all the hacking, am I right? Different system.
Yeah.
This is one part. Let me show you the brochure just to show you the clarity. Okay. So month 1, now we are learning about in mentorship. It's going to be a 6 months program where we learn Windows, web, everything you learn. Okay. Then in second month, you are going to talk about firewalls like network security. It can help you to take up to NSC 4, network security expert level 4 from Fortinet. Okay, that's something which and another one is ethical hacking. This maybe you have learned, fine. And third and fifth month, we are going to talk about attacks, firewall, SD-WAN, cloud security, IoT, SOC, analytics, and ISM policies, blockchain. All of them is going to be 3 months. And the 6 months, we are going to give you real-time projects, capstone projects. And then we will help you with some kind of interview skills, what skills you should have, what are the questions commonly asked when you're going for a job. And then also connect you with our group. We have a group of talented people who are in different professionals from different countries. So we will connect you with the forum so you can get into job. That is how the mentorship program differs. Is it clear, Faiz?
Yeah, fine, sir, fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
And
much.
also you're going to be there in the group for lifelong, right? Because you're connecting with a similar mindset. Tomorrow you're going to work, you face a problem, you can post it in the group, somebody who has experience, he will help you. Because when you do CEH or any certification, once you do, then you leave. Nobody is going to do, am I right? Follow the instructor or the students, you will all lose the, lost the touch. But here, you are becoming part of my community. I have already almost 100 people. This is going to be now, this year is going to be another 500 people going to join in the community. That means imagine you have like 500 network security and ethical hackers and application testers across the globe in one platform. Imagine that power. Imagine the help you will take it from that. You got the point, Vice? It's not.
Yeah, that's great.
Questions for anyone? Okay. That's all. I think we have done it. Someone else would like to add, or we can end. Deepak, you want to say something? Deepak, Dr. S.N. Jagdish.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Yes, go ahead, Deepak. How was the session?
So I'm actually new to this domain. Okay. Since 3 to 4 months that I'm working as a SOC analyst right now.
Okay.
But back then I have I'm actually a system admin. Okay, which is into Linux and Linux admin, you can say.
Okay.
So I actually want to learn the skills. And want to pursue career in this domain later on.
Okay, Deepak. So was it cool today's session? Did you find interesting?
Yeah, it was really interesting, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let us take one feedback and close. S.N. Jagdish.
Sure, we will do that.
Please share your feedback in LinkedIn as well. Please post your comments, pictures in LinkedIn and share it with your friends in your Facebook so that many people can benefit next week. So can I take it from Dr. S.N. Jagdish if it's Okay. Because I find I'm Dr. Mohammed Ibrahim. I see another doctor attending. So I just want to listen his feedback. Nirmal Pansare session was very much good. Okay. So thank you very much for all of you for joining. Let us catch up next week. Please stay tuned and also please review all the sessions we have seen today, and we will focus on networking and if possible about wireless in the next session. Okay, thank you.